9 commander's medals? Hmm. Definitely not getting there. Come on. Ah. Keep making mistakes and slipping up different ways. I was trying to hit Wake of Ashes, but I kept clicking by it and not on it. Whoa. Hi. When I heard the grunting and groaning, I assumed people were fighting, not standing here ready. Damn it. Home to kill one more guy before I died, but nope. Yeah, may want to just I just want to try and escape.
Attack!
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be a git here. Really just want to get this damn thing over with. Whoa. Oh, jeez. I got the achievement done. Well, I got the quest done. I just really want to get this thing over with.
Break their bones.
Wait, seems they're from the same server as me. Huh. Awkward. Stormpike filth in my keep? It's more likely than you think. The Frostwolf Artichoke. Tales of Stormpike Glory by Vandar Stormpike. The Frostwolf Artichoke. Tales of Stormpike Glory by Vandar Stormpike. What is Frostwolf? The answer is simple. The Frostwolf are savages trying to halt our sovereign imperialistic imperative. Much like an artichoke, the Frostwolf have a prickly Okay. Yet again, I get cut off. Okay, it's this general direction. I had to find that for back in Legion for the, you know, hidden weapon skin. Don't need it anymore. Also, what the hell is this? There's a Zeppelin crashed up here? Alright, just random Zeppelin. It's not too far away from Grimba Toll. Isn't that where Alexstrasza was chained up at one stage? Some goblins did get the now former leader, the Kirin Tor, in there. He wasn't the leader at the time. Ronin or something. Got them in, but they tried to behave in goblin, pull off some goblin fuckery. So Deathwing, crashed their Zeppelin, killing them. Could take it to be that, but probably not. Much like an artichoke, the Frostwolf have a prickly, shielded set of defenses.
Never the best of neighbors, but the Boulder Fist are particularly unfriendly. Let's convince them to play nice, shall we?
A prickly, shielded set of defenses, and much like an artichoke, once the outer layer is peeled away, the heart is exposed, ready to be eaten with a fine garlic dip. Delicious. You're making me hungry. Haven't actually eaten yet, so it's just like, stop it. You're tormenting me. Ah, they're using the WAD buildings here. Someone was actually making a good point about one issue with this redesign of Alterac, of a Stromguard. They dug up all the graves, including the family crypt here. Like, it wouldn't be over here. Here was residential and mage tower. I'm just taking a look. Let's see. I'll go back to reading now in 1 sec. Citizen, please do not mind, random heavily armed guy wandering into your house. Your shotgun will do little. This is an RPG. Over here is the family crypt. It's now been completely stripped down. Family chapel and crypt, or village chapel and crypt, completely stripped down and replaced with a tank factory. It's a little bit dodgy. And given the repeatable nature of these war fronts, I'm just what's the canon answer? Who wins? Who won? Who owns where now? Plus, I was really hoping to see a bit to do with Gilneas and Also, remember a guy who used to be in charge of here but got killed and resurrected but at Forsaken, he's in Legion, he sides with Death Knights, but then double crosses them, and that's why he's dead now. I don't think I can take him on, and I've nothing I could pop to help me out. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that was too fast. Again, since I left the guild and won't be raiding as used to be for this expansion,
It's too far away.
it doesn't. I don't need to worry about keeping a supply of Amaran. LFR really doesn't matter. Okay, so I can't handle rarely. Okay, it follows. Alright. Okay, are there ever owl beasts that aren't rampaging and the like? Are there ever sane and collected ones? Because they all seem to be off fucking screen. Okay, it's immune to stuns. And yeah, its charge it's heat seeking. One way to avoid it is presumably to make yourself immune to physical. Yep. Physical at the very least is not completely immune. I'll continue reading that now in a second. I don't think that does too heavy damage. Really? That was it after all fucking that? I suppose it does count towards an achievement, so that's something. The Horde camp here is completely gone. There's not like a single trace of it left. They even have paths out for it and they're gone. Hell, I think actually this might be restructured a little. Unless this rocky mound was in the middle of the camp. Actually no, I think the camp's paths are left. Yeah, see this. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna complain about one thing for a moment. There was a book I was reading. There's a webcomic I was reading. And it was some, I don't know, I think it was Korean, yeah, it was Korean. Mentioned the Korean age system. It's like, you get a year older on the Chinese New Year. Not on whenever your birthday was. But the reason I'm talking about this isn't because it's that aging system being weird to me around like that. It's purely because, like, I was reading it and it starts off telling the story one way. Then, like, a couple of chapters in, it's kind of like as if, say I'm doing a series of videos here, like say I was doing Witcher, and you see one train of events, like, maybe I should just give you a vague description of how the story went. Basically, what this girl is coming over to meet up with a friend of hers, and it turns out the friend has got a admittedly rather strange job. She's like house sitting for this mysterious, I don't know, Go on, shoot. This guy was rough. I was probably not blocking nearly the right moves. And again, no pet. Anyway, yeah, most of these drop pets and the like. The other guy's over there, but no, these are getting rougher and rougher. But anyway, yeah, her friend is like, she's in this one apartment, and next door is her boss. He was out he was out of town for a week, but now he's back. So she has to come in every day, clean his place, and do food for him. Live in maid, basically. But at least when the friend initially meets him, she doesn't actually get to see the guy. I know, he's this recluse thing going on. But anyway, it turns out he's this, rich CEO. It's a romance story. You can kind of expect this. So the friend fucks off and leaves the main girl with the job. She drunkenly agreed to it. So one thing leads to another, and she's there with the guy. She ends up meeting him face to face, and some guy who had done a delivery earlier, but it was apparently wrong place, turns up again, and there was basically the guy had made an enemy of him through what the guy had made. He's CEO. He made some social media app, and the guy's blaming him for the girlfriend breaking up with him through the app. It's really just want to lash out at someone, I guess. So she talks that situation down, and everything's fine. And she discovers that he's actually was the guy behind the app. She had actually resentment towards him for the same reason. For a moment, she was bonding with the guy, pointing a knife at her and him, because they had both the same grievance with the guy. It was actually kind of a funny scene. But after this, she ends up working at his place as a new secretary. Suddenly, it hops to her at a job interview with him. Apparently, he had fired her for no reason as his maid, and he's trying to make it up to her. He's in a meeting with someone to help with his the company's anniversary, and he sees her, his friend, and one of the other people at the business turn up at the same place. And then suddenly it skips to him in an interview with her to get the job as a secretary, and he's apologizing for firing her, and the situation with the guy pointing a knife at them played out differently in the little flashbacks, and it's really fucking jarring. And at this stage, when she's getting in the interview, she doesn't realize he's the boss, even though you see in the other chapters she found out then. And it's the contradiction is just making my skin crawl. It's pissing me off. Ugh. It was fine. It was cheesy. It wasn't. Well, maybe not cheesy. Cheesy ain't the right word, but Jimmy the Bleeder. Just fucking bludgeoned him. New chest model. Like it. But sadly, he didn't get rep there. Why didn't I get rep against the Syndicate? Or would... Oh yes, Stormpike took over these points. I have no idea. Anyway, maybe he doesn't give it. He's a rare. They should. But it wasn't this great thing. It was cute enough. It was fine. It would pass the time, and there's tons of chapters to it. It would be something to read. And I'm trying to write my own romance novels here, so it's giving me something to pull from, ideas or inspiration to here or there or whatnot. Or get my head in the right mindset. It could be useful. But now it's just suddenly, it's basically what the example I was going to give you originally was, say I'm doing a Witcher playthrough. I did, say, an original route, and then I redo the first 12 episodes. And then you see the rest of the original route, and things are playing out very differently in it. It's like that. I was going to give you another example there, but I can't remember what. Dailies have now reset. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, they reset at 7 a.m. now rather than 2 a.m. They used to reset at 2. At 2. But yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say there. My mind flickered to something for a second. But it's really bugging me. Because it was, like I said, it wasn't some like great standout. I called it manga, but like I was saying, it's Korean. It's like manhwa or manwoo or something. I think it's manhwa. I've never heard anyone say it, so I don't know. But there's like manga, Japanese, manhwa, I think is Korean. Then the Chinese have their own one, which is again a letter different. Like, damn it. Like, have more distinctive names like manga, comic. They're more distinctive. But, and to be honest, at least manga and manhwa, I've no, like, okay, it ends in HWA. Okay, I go for a different sound, but the Chinese one is, I think, like, only a letter different, and I'm not, like, first I can't really remember what the word is now, but it's just like, I don't even know how to differentiate this from the Korean iteration, as I presume they're probably pronounced differently. They've got a different letter in there, but look at Irish. There's silent B's in there. Siobhan, Shiv, on, prison shiv, aw, as in awning. But there's a fucking B in there. Or own, EOIGH. Yeah, I hate Irish. It's meant to be my not my native tongue, but let's be honest here. Let's be fair here. As far as the language goes, most Irish people are basically English. Let's be honest here. I'm gonna get some hate for that, and fair enough. But just like we don't know our native tongue, we don't know our native myths and shit. I know that's not language skills, but fuck that, you know. The native myths have plenty of those difficult Irish names. You'll get a bit of better grasp of them. Certainly, I know I can't pronounce most of them. I'm stretching there with that one, but go with it. You know, we don't know where most of our native. Well, most of us, I think, can't really speak our native tongue that well. You know, certainly going by how they're taught in schools, it isn't that great. If you want to really learn Irish, you have to go to a Gaeltacht, go to the Gaeltacht, or to Gaelscoil. For those who don't know what that means, Gaeltacht is a region in Ireland. I believe it's on the west coast, Mayo region, maybe, like in the counties around there. Here, let me see if I can look it up. Gaol Tacht. I got most of that. Yeah, well, actually, there's a few Gaeltachts. There's a few, a bit away, 2 green patches here, a bit away from Dublin. There's a little map here. A bit away from Dublin, there's Ring, like a region literally called Ring. West Muskerry, the Dingle Peninsula, and a bit south of that. Connemara. Iran. Actually, Mayo, yeah, it's actually the northwestern tip and south, or just western edge of Mayo. There's some Gaeltachts there. Fair bit of Donegal is Gaeltacht as well. But basically, they speak Irish there. That's the primary tongue they speak there. Though I do remember my temporary teach for 5th class and teach for 6th back in primary school. Good old Mr. Daly. He went to Gaeltacht for a while, and he heard shopkeeps talking in English, and then the moment they saw him, like, and him looking like a teacher, they quickly started speaking in Irish. The Gaelscoil is just a school where everything's taught in Irish. You learn English, presumably, true Irish. You learn maths, true Irish. You learn Irish, true Irish. So, obviously, if you've grown up in one of those, you're obviously going to, in either Gaeltacht or Gaelscoil, you're presumably going to have a much better grasp at Irish than someone who only, there was very little exposure to it, and also little interest. I've I've only really kind of a passing interest in Ireland. It's like, oh yay, Ireland's acknowledged in something. I like that. I have a passing interest in our myths and our legends, but it's not too strong of a thing. Like what I was saying before, we don't really learn our national myths and the like. Like we had a pantheon of gods here. I only learned about them in recent years. We never learned about them in school. That's good old Catholic Ireland. We learned about St. Patrick and the myths about him, driving snakes out of Ireland. Snakes were pagans. St. Patrick's Day is a celebration of religious intolerance. I'm saying that because that's what it is, but I'm not saying condemning that thing. Woo booze, I say, as if I drink. But, yeah, basically, like, yeah, I'm saying it's celebrating religion tolerance, but I'm not condemning the holiday, and it's St. Patrick's Day is quite solidly disconnected from any such roots. It's it's just a random celebration. It's like with most swears, calling someone a fucker, calling someone a bastard. Bastard used to have a meaning, questioning someone's parentage, that they were born outside wedlock. William the Conqueror was called by his enemies, before he cut their heads off and put them over the battlements, William the Bastard, because his parents were sorry to him out outside wedlock. But nowadays, bastard just means rawr, feel offended. Same with cunt or whatnot. I'm trying to think of other ones, but my mind is just going for ones that actually do have meaning still, but yeah. But a lot of insults now are just rawr, feel offended. And where was I with this? Let me just go back through this. I remember now. I was saying about St. Patrick, how it's, it had the question, I'm actually not really sure what St. Patrick's Day is celebrating. Him, driving snakes, what? Because that's like all I learned about St. Patrick. He was a slave, came out, was brought over, escaped home, came back, started converting people to Christianity, and drove the snakes out of Ireland, which were pagans. Yay. I'm an atheist. I really don't care what people believe as long as they aren't shitting things up on everyone else. I want my cybernetics. I want to be a metal man and woman, depending on my mood. Hey, look. Who wouldn't want to be a hot chick? That's my stance here. But anyway, metal man aside, woo, transhumanism. Yeah, I don't care what people believe, but it honestly doesn't matter to me as long as they aren't shitting things up on everyone else. But yeah, St. Patrick's Day is quite clearly taken away from its roots. But yeah, we don't really know our I learned like beyond St. Patrick. I only remember like tree myths, learning tree myths in school. Maybe we learned more, but I certainly don't remember them. We learned about Cuchulainn driving a slitter down a dog's throat. For those that don't know what a slitter is, it's nothing like a slit her, as in you're shanking someone. A slitter is a small little ball, white. They've got a weird like black like lip going around it. It's kind of like a U in a sense, if memory serves, but it fully connects. But anyway, that's a slitter. It's I think around maybe tennis ball sized, roughly, but it's like solid hard. You hit it with a hurley, think like a baseball, but it's thinner and got a different kind of shape to it. But sorry, did I say baseball? Baseball bat. Sorry, the slitter is slitter is the ball. The hurley or hurl in some places is the baseball bat. But on like baseball that I'm referencing here, you don't stand at points and you hit the ball and you run. No. You run around the pitch like soccer, trying to hit this ball, swinging your club wildly. And you wear very little protection. At most, a guy might wear a helmet. But any more than that, and the rest start laughing at him and looking down their nose at him. So, yeah, that's the way I hear it anyway. Like, one of the guys grew up playing it, and that's what he was saying. And I also remember recently, some hurleys I remember seeing them having like a strip of metal across the end of it. You know, where you'll be hitting the ball or someone's face. Not sure if this strip of metal would add much damage, it certainly wasn't spiked, but I doubt it helped much. But, yeah, anyway, so, yeah, Cuchulainn was sent to get something from a Lord's Keep. He had the Lord's permission, but the dog was in the way, so he just murders the dog to get the thing. And as punishment, he is now he now has to replace the dog. He's now the Hound of Ulster as his title and whatnot. He has to serve the guy as punishment. We also learned about the Salmon of Knowledge with Fionn and the Fianna. Well, before he joined, before that happens, when he's just young and inexperienced, he goes to this sage to learn from the guy, and the guy's like, fine, either help me fish, or I've caught this fish that I've really wanted, it's the Salmon of Knowledge, but you're not having any, I'm having it. I'm going to sleep, you cook it. And the kid's like, sure. Oh, there's a blister on it, let me pop it. Oh, that hurt my hand, because, the fish is fucking, cooking over open flames. Let me suck on this finger. I know all. And so the sage sends him away when he wakes up, because all knowledge that he could have gained from this Salmon of Knowledge has been drained into the kid. I think his name was Fionn. It's been too long. It's like I learned this in like senior infants. And so he went off, found the Fianna, he had his own tales, which we did not learn. And the last one was Tir na Nog, where this great champion was chosen by this strange, beautiful woman on a horse to go away with her. And he was like, sure! And so he gets up on her horse, and they ride off to Tir na Nog, the land of the young. What it exactly translates to. I always heard it as Tir na Og, but there's meant to be an N in there, Tir na Nog. It's just a grammatical thing. So he's off there at the land having a great time, but he eventually gets homesick. And he's like, can I go home? And they're like, sure, but stay on the fucking horse, or you'll never be able to return. And he's like, okay. And he goes home and he's like, my home's collapsed, and what the fuck is going on? And he finds people, and they're trying to move a boulder, and he's like, sure, I'll help. So he's on the horse, and he's trying to move the boulder, but he moves it, but falls off. Hits the ground, immediately shrivels into an old man. And the horse runs off, and he's banished now forever barred forever from Tir na Nog, because he's fucking ancient. Hundreds of years have passed in the meantime, in the time he'd been in Tir na Nog. Everyone he knew and loved is gone and dead, and now he's trapped as a shriveled old man, in a future that he isn't really part of. Well, I said trapped forever. He's trapped till he eventually died. He was, age suddenly caught up with him. I doubt he survived very long. Maybe it wasn't hundreds of years, but it was a sizable amount of time had passed for, everything to fall to shit. So, those were the myths we learned, and obviously those are summated versions. I don't remember the full details. I wasn't that great, I'm not that good. I think I did commendably, given how long ago I learned them. But we didn't learn on beyond that. Like the Celtic pantheon of gods, we didn't learn them at all. I only discovered we had a pantheon of gods in the recent years. They never told much about it. We were never taught about it, so I never even thought of it as an option. I get rather dull-witted sometimes. Sometimes it actually was a benefit. My nan would go on spiels going like, if women were in charge of the country, everything would be perfect. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe you're right, Nan. And I was just like, I wouldn't even think much of it. It was just like, back to video games. You know, I wouldn't even think much on it. And me being dull-witted there paid off. I remembered her saying it, but I never thought much of it. Never really brewed on it in any way. That's my nan for you, and that's not even the worst of stuff. They're typical, old racist person, Also rather sexist, as you could hear. I remember, like, there was this one shop, restaurant we used to love going to. I used to love going there with my aunt. And I went there with mum a few times. Limeleaf. They eventually closed, but they've some connection with lemongrass. Apparently, that was my aunt. What my aunt was saying, but she was also trying to claim this yaoi between a 12-year-old boy and this college-age guy had something to do with Final Fantasy VII. Reason being, it was called Loveless, and there's a Loveless the play, this like great play in Final Fantasy VII. She was trying to claim they're both connected because of that name. And for years I believed her because I assumed she was being honest with me rather than fucking with me. Or she was just dense. Anyway. As you can imagine, I don't speak really with much of my family. There's reasons for that. Mostly them than me, but where was I? I was saying about me being dull-witted in some cases. Just, I swear I had a fog over my head for, most of my life. It's cleared recently. Though I get fits anyway. I can't remember where I was going with all this. And I do want to continue the artichoke thing there. It's making me hungry. But, I want to finish where I was going with this. Oh yeah. I was saying about the gods. I didn't even think of native, Irish gods before Christianity came here. I didn't think of them. I didn't think of Pantheon. Even when I discovered the pagan thing when I was young, I didn't actually think about the gods here, And I don't know much more about the myths here. Like I never learned about until recently, and it was because of fucking the Fate anime about Cuchulainn and Gaebolg, his spear. Gaebolg was a nasty spear, translated as belly spear. It opens up inside its target, meaning you can't just pull it out. You got to cut it out. The only two accounts I remember reading about Cuchulainn using it is, obviously his mythological character, is on his own fucking family. I think one of it was his son. So yeah, that's rough. Those reunions will be awkward. But, yeah, we never really learned much of, like, our native myths and legends and heroes. We learned bits here and there, but it was very restricted and very limited. We're too busy learning Gandhi is a Christian. Yeah, one of my religion books implied he was a Christian. He followed God, capital G. Yeah. Honestly, Bugs, it's sweet Jiminy out of me. Wait, why do you have so little health? Why were you immune to my stun? Maybe it was part of some RPing thing. But, yeah. One thing that is annoying me about us not learning much of our native myths and whatnot, is because, well, I'm writing a story and I'll be drawing upon them in it. I've a variety of books I'm working on. I mentioned the romance books earlier. I've talked here way too long, I apologize. I'll make this extra long to compensate. I talk about the romance. I was working romance novels. There's actually like 4 there now. I won't be giving any details on them. I've already given enough hints about about one of my other novels. As it is, I'm writing these under pen names. Pen name for romance, pen name for the rest. Um, Actually, there's another book I was thinking of writing. It may or may not get its own pen name. I was given it as a prompt, given a line or two as a prompt during the junior cert, uh, in English class. Like we had to write a thing, so I wrote a thing. Apparently wrote it too long. I was judging. Teacher said, "Oh, if something needs to be this long." I didn't get to hear the context. I thought it was what we had to write, so she criticized me for being too long after class. But basically, I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, maybe I could actually adapt this into a novel. Because I have an idea here. But anyway. So yeah, there's romance novels, fantasy novel, which would really be a series, and then this other book. And the fantasy one would be drawing on some like Irish myths and the like, for at least a bit of it. Um, for at least like one region in it. So kind of like how Witcher draws upon like Polish stuff and whatnot for parts of it. People go on in different words, but the phrasing I usually go with is fancy Poland. Um, I'm stipulating most of it because the elves, like the elder speech, is Celtic. Dalblatana, or Dalblahana, is Valley of Flowers. Blahana meaning flowers in Irish. Blatana, I'm not sure if that's an accurate pronunciation or not. Um, the one, like, with English, typically color is color. You may add in a U or not. Herb is herb, though I know Americans say herb, but it's all close enough. Certainly, I'm pretty poor with Irish, which is probably making it even, more egregious to me. But if you go from the southeast of Ireland to the northeast or northwest, let's say southeast to northeast, Irish will be vastly different. Spelled the same, but they'll say it completely differently, to the point where it may as well be a completely different language. Certainly, I remember this is accent more so than language, which accent ain't helping. I went like an hour out of the city. I'm in Waterford. I went an hour up to visit a psychologist in Kilkenny, and then we ended up driving around a bit and on our way back, and we're on some country road, and we probably feeling like, am I giving too much detail here? We ended up on some country road and we went into a gas station, and I'm terrible with accents. Either I can't hear them, I can't hear them, or I can hear them and I can't understand the person beyond them. And it was the latter case. Again, it was just an hour away from where I live, but I couldn't understand the gas station attendant at all. I think I had to stand there for a moment and just be like pondering it, like it's life's mysteries, just to understand, it's 12:50. I'm just terrible at accents. Certainly whenever I talk to my step granddad, he's got a very strong Waterford accent. I can't parse it most of the time. It takes me a moment. I can parse it, but I have to stop and think about what he's saying to get past the accent, because I'm not good with it. But yeah, Blatana may be a valid pronunciation. I don't know. Down here we say Blana. But yeah, the Avalak, the elven mage from Witcher 3 and in the books, that's an outright Welsh name. Apparently, it's a translation of Avalon, that King Arthur thing. There's another example I was going to give there. There's like Care. That's another, I think, Welsh thing. I think the Skellige. There's the Skellige Isle. Let me look this up. Because I can never quite remember. Yeah, there's Skellig Michael? Great Skellig. Yeah, there's the Skellig Rocks and whatnot. Um, Skellig Michael, the island is named after the Archangel Michael. Is it Arc or Arch? It's spelled Arch, but I always heard it as Archangel. Then again, they could be the same as Morning Dew, Morning Dew. Anyway, um, and one of my relatives has that quirk pronunciation thing going on, and that threw my own off. But actually, apparently, Skellig Isles were in those recent Star Wars movies. As the question was, they were. Those were Skellig Isles. The movies were questionable, not the islands. Where Luke was. He apparently took up residency on Skellig Isles. Skellig Islands. But someone was saying that, Skellige, the Viking guys from Witcher, it's possible they got the name Skellige from Skellig. Given, the other nods to Irish, Welsh, and Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and Scotland, that doesn't seem too egregious. There is also, in Witcher, there's, um, Witcher 2 Virgin. Huh. Dark mode. Okay, there's a new difficult. There's different difficulty for Witcher 2 called Dark Mode, and you get different bits of kit for it during it. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Apparently, Dark is the most. Well, it's the. I'll just read it exactly as the wiki's saying it. Witcher.fandom.com. The Dark difficulty setting is the most demanding difficulty level in the game, in gameplay terms, besides Insane, which features similar difficulty but with saves becoming unusable upon death. There's 3 new sets: Blasphemers, Oathbreakers, and Kinslayers, and they come with 2 swords each. Huh. The swords are cursed, so while they strip enemies of vitality and heal the Witcher with it, they will actually drain him if the outfits aren't complete. Anyway, what I wanted was the Virgin of Aedirn. There we go. If we get her, then we'll find out who she was at war with. King Demavend. No, not him. She was at war with... There's Death Mold. Um, fuck Aerlingus. Their ad just started blaring. Okay, Death Mold. King Henselt. We didn't see much Death Mold because in my playthrough because we didn't side with Roach. Might go back at some stage and redo it. Death Mold, Henselt was King of Kedwin, but they mentioned him, Ard Carrig. Well, beyond, ignoring the Ard part, which is something else, Carrig isn't that an outright place here in Ireland? Get to spelling. I'm missing an A. Oh. I swear I remember here. Okay, there's some buildings calling it, but I swear I remember someone. Is it Carrickdon? No, that's a fashion. No, that's something. That's something else. That's not a place, but I swear I remember someone saying that was a place here in Ireland. Okay, it is, but without the H. It's in Munster. So, you know, there's already places in which are named after places in Ireland. So, you know, it wouldn't be too big of a jump for Skellig. Skellige. Let me just flag that. Edit end. So yeah, it wouldn't be too much of a jump for Skellige to be named after it, but anyway. I've tangented here long enough. I think I made my points all across. One was that romance Korean thing I was looking at. It was fine, but goddamn that juddered around a bit. It was, like I was saying, it's like they did one run through, then proceeded to replace the first like 12 pages, 12 chapters with a redo, but didn't finish the rest. So you just get this contradiction here. Well, you get a ton of contradictions and the like, and events that happened in one that aren't happening here, and vice versa. It's ugh. And then the Irish, we learn Irish in school, but I always remember hearing it being criticised in how it's taught, and I can't really speak it to any good degree. So, like, if, you know, I was kind of extrapolating from there, if a fair portion of the population is like me, you know, it's not really, you know, it's not really looking good for the language. And then I was saying about the myths and the whatnot, we don't learn them either, so we barely touched on them at all. So, yeah. All's good, all's good. Chapter 1, The Front Line. The front lines of the Frostwolf defences are comprised of Frostwolf warriors. The warriors are deployed to the front lines from Captain Galvangar's fortress, Iceblood Garrison. The most efficient manner in which to take out this layer of defences is destroy the Iceblood Garrison. Lay siege to the fortress and destroy Captain Galvangar. Once this is done, the front lines will crumble. Chapter 2, Iceblood and Tower Point. Once the first layer is down, the second layer of the Artichoke will be exposed. Destroying the Frostwolf towers that sit near the front lines will cripple the Legionnaire and patrols that swarm the rear flank. The towers are heavily fortified, each housing one of Drektar's elite commanders. They must be killed. This will expedite the dismantling of the Frostwolf defences. For commanders. If you've been following the wisdom of this guide, then by now 2 of the Drektar's commanders are dead. Good work, soldier. The resolve is already weakening. Now you must complete the dissemination of the chain of command by slaying the remaining two commanders. With all 4 commanders slain, the Frostwolf legionnaires that guard Frostwolf Keep will be scattered, left without command, ripe for the picking. Okay, sorry, for a moment my eyes were flittering all over the place and I wasn't actually reading it, but my mount kept going and seemed to do it accurately. Chapter 4, The East and West Frostwolf Towers. Now there's only one layer standing between you and victory. Drektar's most trusted and powerful guard units, the Frostwolf Guardians. Frostwolf Guardians are sent out from the platoons held in reserve at the east and west Frostwolf Towers. Destroy these towers and watch the remaining Frostwolf Guardians flee in shame. Epilogue. Smother the heart of the artichoke with garlic butter and mayonnaise. Complement the meal with an aged and heady ale. Drektar now stands alone, his two mutts at his side. Capture Frostwolf Reef hot to aid in your battle and destroy Drektar. When the general falls, the land will finally turn over to its rightful owner, the Stormpike. If I was a Horde, I could easily turn up and talk to these and the Horde side if I was on the right quest. Yeah, which you've seen on my Warlock playthrough. But I can't, so this will have to do.
My goods.
So this is time displaced Tandala Snowgleam. Greetings, Draenei. My apologies for being a little out of sorts today, but I still guarantee my wares will stand the test of time. Heh heh. So he sells all these different items. Which, didn't I get you as part of the quest? Yes. This version is, the version you get from the quest is better though. 20 extra points. Okay, this is still saying it's better, but it's, I'm gonna say no. So yeah, he sells all the gear here scaled up, but there's also a few bits of gear that have been removed from the game. Actually, to be honest, the Unstoppable Force's little effect there really should. I'm just thinking, the frigid conditions of Alterac Valley. Fair enough, it's very cold there. It probably should also count like Northrend or some zones there, you know. Just thinking about it. But anyway, so there's an item here. I believe it's a dagger, or maybe it's a wand or something. Could be this. I do believe it has been removed from the game, and as such there's no other way of getting the appearance beyond this present event. So by the time you get to see this, it's long too late. Nah. If I was to buy all of these, I wouldn't be able to. I'm not sure if I could afford it. No, you know what? I probably could. I'm a little dodgy on the Marks of Honor front, and plus I'm not getting any through the current event, but I could probably get most of them. Certainly, I'll probably just aim for whatever I don't presently have.
Well met.
Earned reverence. I must know, Palanai. When you look directly into the eyes of the enemy, do you see fear? Do they now cower in your presence? They must realize that they are defeated. You've earned reverence among the guard. Present your insignia. Stormpike insignia, rank 3. When we first met, we would never have guessed that a hero was in the making. Carry on, soldier.
See you soon. How are you?
Greetings, Draenei. I'm Lieutenant Haggerden, officer in charge of recruitment for the Stormpike Guard. It's gained prestige and notoriety among the Stormpike. Stormpike. I think I keep saying Stormguard. Return to me, and I shall see about upgrading your insignia. Should you ever lose your insignia, I'm able to resupply a replacement.
Safe.
Smoky Wood Pastures for some generic, special gear. Commander Amando Ossex of 120 elite. So are all the battle guards here. There's the portal in there, so if you want to enter manually, you can do so. So okay, I do kind of like the look of it. Really? That's it? It looks like a bug shell. So, I would be interested in grabbing a few of these, just to fill out the appearances. never see vamp races, but still, for sake of having it, I would want it. I've already gotten a lot of these, it seems. The lobotomizer. Ooh, I like that. Kind of makes me think of, remind me of Baldur's Gate, something that is on the list. I was saying before that when I contacted them about clarifying policy, even though they say they answer questions, they refuse to answer my question because they consider legal advice. Even though what questions could they answer on their policy? If any questions on the policy is legal advice, I don't understand. But I got someone else's opinion on it, someone else's reading, and it seemed, at least according to their take, I was taking too strong of an opinion on their rulings. You know, I was going too hard on it when they weren't that bad, as bad as I was thinking it was. Basically, what I'm saying here is I can let's play. I don't need to go get a solicitor first. It's fine for me to let's play stuff. So I've got Baldur's Gate 1 set up to be played in 2 now, with some minor modifications and the like. Just following the guide that was on GOG. I'll get around to it at some stage. Terazane has turned up in WoW. We saw her at the end of Legion when I was doing the Kata dungeon and raid crawl to get caught to minimize how much I had to buy. Christ, I have no inventory space. I will be breaking down some of the bits of gear here in my inventory because I'm no longer using it. That's still bugging out. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this guy is here, and I'll be buying stuff from him in a bit. Let me just kill these horses on principle. I see a horde of enemies stuck together. I want to kill them. Could skin them, but wouldn't really get much out of them, would you? So, and then if I was to fly over here, here's the horde side. To be honest, the having the line spread to all the fingers, including this one, which was the closest one to the horde base, doesn't quite make sense. Okay, the SI7, sure, they're spying here. They're clearly there watching the horde, though there's a fucking tree in the way. But having this here doesn't really work. You know, it's too damn obvious. Spies, sure, damn no. I can talk to him just fine, but I can't talk to the rest, and I will be attacked if I go closer. If I was a horde on that right quest, then I could pop around to all of them and it'd be fine, but no. So, let us see. I need to clean up my inventory. You know what, I'm just gonna sell that. I can, if I, for whatever damnable reason, want it again, I can go find it on an alt. Okay, gonna be honest, with the way, the quiver in her voice there, I was waiting for just to, like, flash Palanai there. You know, just flash me. D-E-L-E-T-E. I want to break that down or sell it. Okay, I can just sell that. Rares from Kata on, you just vendor, because you have to charge way too much to try and auction them. Well, greens from Kata on, you just vendor. And to be honest, I'll just vendor that too. Should go do those scouting reports. And to be honest, DLETE. DLETE. Bender. Never found this Hobbs guy. Briar. Back. Wow, Hobbs. Okay, he can be in one of two places. Either near Mariner's Stand or in Brennadam. And he has 5 things to buy. And this is in Stormsong. 5 things to buy. Well, sorry, you can buy 5 things off him. Pig Nose. Allows you to sniff out rare truffles. They cost 25. Also only in the valley. You can get Sedative Quill, which shoots a quill coated with a strong sedative, putting a razor spine quill bore into a deep sleep for 30 seconds. This quill is dipped in a potent mixture that will put even the toughest briar back to sleep. A vial of viscous goo. Coat yourself in viscous goo, weakening the effect of impaling quills used by the razor spine quill bore. Honey mixed with a special blend of unguents and oils. Still smells sweet though. Quill bomb. It's packed to the brim with quill bore's quills. Does 10,108 physical damage to all enemies within 10 yards, stunning them for 3 seconds. And then you can get a Trice Pickled Treshadon Omelette. Summon Humphrey to guard you for 10 minutes. Humphrey's favorite, packed with protein for prodigious puppy power. Which is a Scooby-Doo reference. With, well, Scrappy. Scrappy-Doo. The Pig Nose. Truffles. Some comments. Apparently you can loot it from a carved wooden chest in Briarback Crawl. And after that you can buy it. Apparently, when you have the buff, for 15 minutes you can find truffles in Stormsong Valley under trees in the bushes. They're very tiny and easy to miss, and don't appear on the map, and they aren't highlighted. There's apparently 4 types of truffles. The magic truffle, which they might pair well with tomatoes. They restore a bit of mana over 20 seconds. The violet truffle, devour the darkness to comprehend its mysteries. It's almost like there are small lights winking in and out in the flesh of this truffle. Maybe don't eat it. That sounds bad. The valley truffle, particularly pungent, a warning extremely decadent, restores 20% of your health per second for 5 seconds. And then the turbo truffle, which increases your movement speed by 15. And you also need a pig nose to use a Sporonite bomb on the Lichen King in Stormsong Valley. They give you by having all 4 truffle effects on you at this one time, you get every day I'm truffling. Most of the information came from Varen, Varenne, with the Lichen King note coming from SCHPROTZNOG. This is over on Wowhead. So, yeah, that's what they're for. So, someday I might actually deal with that. I'll hold on to these for the time being. They might have value. We'll get rid of this. Hold on to that. It'll be gone soon enough, I'm sure. Get rid of this. Hold on to that. This. I'm feeling compassionate right now. I'll be finishing that quest soon enough. Get rid of it, get rid of it. Gone. Sell it. Gone. And now this is glitching out. Need to go update things. Finish those quests. Hold on to that since I can't get it again. I'm not really sure if I should even hold on to these. Probably won't. No, I'll probably run the other thing in LFR and I might get a few more, so I may as well hold on to it. My chicken's so good, it's worth dying for. Leroy. I'll hold on to that because I won't be able to get it again. Steamed clams, I do not know if you can buy them again. So I'm holding on to them. Holding on to them for collectability. Some of these in the bank. I'll get rid of these. Pot of Flame, I'm not even sure how you get that. I'll hold on to this because I want to actually get that legendary at some stage. Hold on to this because it gives me an essence. I don't know if I even still have the trinket. I don't give a damn about that. Or can we even get these again? If we can get them again, I'll get rid of them. Otherwise, bye-bye. Oh. Not sure. We'll hold on to it for the time being. Again, can't remember if I can get those again. Can't get that. Got that from the end of the Paladin, one of the Paladin Mage Towers. Or something. I can't remember anymore. Can't get those again. I was hoping to actually get use out of those. Army snacks may have value. Yeah, we can get rid of that. I want to keep that. Okay, I've cleared up some space. There's a reason for what I'm doing. I'm going to this guy. So, thinking about it, I could go grab a Hordy and bring him over here to have a look at the other guy's stuff, but he won't. I suppose I couldn't I? It's rightly storming outside. There we go. And there I got all the appearances from there. And I suppose if I truly want to log out, I'll take a moment, but I'll go log in on one of my alts and oh yes, boobs. I just like opened my phone there and it was just like, remember I was saying about the Disney censor thing earlier? Yeah, it was just like that's straight immediately on the screen and it's like, no shit. Okay, so I could go look at my Calderin. Never actually did finish what I was doing with him pre-BFA or early BFA. You know, when I was rushing him through the levels and whatnot. Never actually finished. I was meaning to go down to Siltus and do stuff with him. I ended up forgetting about that, and the cutscene and the lead into the Siltus stuff is gone, but the quests are apparently still there. So I may get him to take a look at least those so far.
Azeroth cries out for your aid. Come to Silithus. There's something you need to see.
Oh, this add-on. How the hell do I get rid of you? Add-ons. It's Gladius. Real UI.